friend Shane Johnson. Good morning, Shane. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you.
Doing amazing, other than, surviving Hurricane Fiona and no electricity and internet. So we're making this work. So hopefully my hotspot cooperates with us today. But that's one of the things about it's really cool with being with a global and internet based brokerage is we can be a little bit more agile, right, Shane?
I completely agree. I mean, especially you don't, I mean, I'm usually in gym clothes or jammies or something doing work in the morning and still can walk up into my brokerage and talk to my broker and no one even know that's what I'm wearing. So
There
that's
you
always been a plus.
go. That's awesome. Well, I'm really excited for today's call because Shane, I mean, you have just been really a prime example from, rookie agent to complete rock star. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. So I hope you're okay with me putting it that way. But, in meeting you a few years ago, you had just got into real estate, fairly new, and ever since then, it just seems like you have taken off. Which, not to mention, today's interview, we were going to actually announce a very special guest that's going to be partnering with you here at EXP. I'm very, very excited for that. Unfortunately, due to personal reasons, he has had to postpone until next week. So we will make that big announcement, but it will be next Wednesday. So make sure you stay tuned for the next week's Winners Wednesday at the same time. But with that said, I'm glad to be able to steal some time away from Shane today because he's got his own story and it's amazing. And so I'm really excited to share that story with everyone today. But Shane, let's get started and kind of take it from the very beginning. How did you originally get into real estate?
It, it, so to go back before even real estate, when I was 19, I dove into a lake and broke my neck shortly after high school in a diving accident. I was a quadriplegic, was told by four doctors, four neurosurgeons, I would never move nor walk again. And being an athlete that was gifted and then hearing at the age of 19, I was like, this is no way I want to live my life. I always wanted, to have that dream of being successful, being a man that can provide for a family and, just do something with his life. And being told, hey, you're never going to walk again nor move. You're going to lay in a hospital bed or you're going to be in a wheelchair. That was not the lifestyle I wanted. So I told myself I was not going to listen to doctors until I got one to say, Shane, you know what? There's hope. And that's what I did. And I told myself I was going to get past that and I would walk again and I would be successful. That was my goal. That was my dream. And 3 months later, I'm walking out of the hospital on a walker, and immediately knew I wanted to go to college. And everyone was telling me it's way too soon. You need to focus on therapy. And I knew if I didn't go to college, there was a good chance I wouldn't go to college. I was depressed at that time. I was in a wheelchair, so I started college in a wheelchair. Got into physical therapy assistant degree. Got into a physical therapy program, and that's where I did my therapy at college, going through trying to get my degree. And I was told then, like, how are you going to do this, with a disability on a walker, possibly a wheelchair? And I was like, I'm going to find a way. And I did. And I was very successful out of 15 years. But the more I started to do physical therapy in my later years, I was like, this is not what I want. I got higher expectations, higher goals for myself. Living on a $30,000 income was just not going to be what I wanted for my future. That was not going to support a family.
Right.
And not saying no, people can't do that. It's just I had bigger goals for myself. And so I went back to college and got a business degree, business management, and a minor in marketing. So I went to corporate and started working corporate. And what I found out there is I did not like putting a suit on every day and going to work for a man and someone tell me when I have to clock in, when I have to clock out, and making someone else a lot of money. And me at the end of the day still making, below $50,000 a year. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew God had saved me from my accident and has given me the ability from not being a quadriplegic like it was told, that I knew I had a story to share. And so I go do um, stem cell treatment in Arizona. I came up with a way of doing stem cell treatment in Arizona, and that's never been done before.
Wow.
And within several weeks, I had full sensation back, and so I was like, okay, this is going to work. I am actually going to go to Oklahoma City, move there, no job, focus on doing physical therapy for 6 months, and then get go start looking for a job. Well, I like to work. And so I started looking for jobs immediately while I was focusing on therapy. I could not get a job. I went to interview after interview after interview. It was either I was too overqualified or I didn't have enough experience because I changed my degree from physical therapy into now recruiting and marketing.
Hmm.
And so I was talking to God. I was like, God, I know you got more for me. What's this door you're going to open up? My goal is to be speaking, to be motivational speaking, inspirational speaking, talking and showing individuals that they can overcome obstacles in life and be successful. And real estate opened up. I think I was watching Grant Cardone one day on Facebook, and I was like, that dude is doing what? Like he came from nothing and he's a multi-billionaire now. And I was like, real estate. So I started looking into it. Called a friend of mine, that was a real estate agent. I said, hey, listen, I think I'm going to do real estate. And she goes, well, you're driven. I think you can. Let me get you connected with my broker and you come and just talk to her and interview. Well, she told her broker about me, and her broker was like, how the hell is this guy going to do real estate on a walker? And she allowed me to come into the office and I met with her. And that's the first thing she said. She goes, Shane, she goes, tell me, how do you plan on doing this on a walker? There's stairs. During the wintertime, it's going to be icy. If it's raining outside, you're going to be smoking wet. Like, and this industry is hard. It's based on looks. It's based on, all the things, the eyes can see. So I was like, listen, ever since I was 19, I've been questioning how I was going to accomplish a goal. I said, it's not for you to know, it's for me to figure out, but I'll figure a way out.
That's incredible.
So my first year, she liked my answer, so she gave me a chance. She came in and she taught me. She was teaching me, a little bit about real estate. And my first month in, after getting my real estate license, I had 5 deals come in, and she was like, "How are you doing this?" And it's the drive. It's. I wanted to prove a point that I could do it, and I was at that time I was a buyer's agent, and I looked at how many deals I did that month. And I was like, man, I just laid $15,000 to this broker, and I did all the work. Like this is terrible. Uh, I was like, I just made my full year wage in a month. Like I don't want to do this no more. And I met my mentor William Mahan, which is your downline.
Hmm.
And when I met with William, I was introduced to him by John Mayhew, a friend of mine, and William said, "I see something in you. You got the drive. You got what it takes to be a successful real estate. Don't let that walker slow you down. Like that walker just motivates you." And it's true. And I was like, man, how am I going to do this though? Because I'm a buyer's agent. She just feeding me leads. You want me to join your team? Why? And he goes, no, I want to teach you how to fish. And I'm like, I know how to fish. What are you talking about? We're talking real estate. He's like, no, I'm going to teach you how to go get your own clients and how to market yourself. And he did. And I listened, and I would pay him literally 50% of my commissions just to come to my own listing appointments because I wanted to learn from him. I knew he was successful. I wasn't going to try to reinvent the wheel. I wanted to learn, and I knew that was going to come with a cost because time is money. He's a very successful agent, and he showed me. He showed me. He told me, listen, there's a lot of people that don't like hopping on the phone calls and making those daily calls. There's a lot of people that don't want to do that old school real estate, what it takes to be successful in real estate. And unfortunately, with you on a walker, you can't go door knock, or it's going to take you all day long to reach 2 blocks. So I was like, okay, well, the phone's going to be I've got to master the phone, and so I learned scripting. I watched YouTube. I listened to William. I had people critique me, and my first year I did well, and then last year I literally made my living. My second year off expireds for sale by owners, withdrawing releases. I mean, and it was because I was willing to listen and learn from other people and take that positive criticism that people would share with me. If I didn't get a listing, I wanted to know why. Hey, why did you choose the other agent over me? I'm just curious so I can learn and build my business. I'm putting my ego to the side. And I think that has helped a lot, but also surrounding myself with individuals that want to grow, that are in the business, but also as a man, a Christian man, to not only grow as a man, but also as a real estate agent. And that's what's helped me to be successful. That's what's helped me to get into real estate. Um, is surrounding myself with the type of people that wants to see me grow.
I think that's amazing, and that's one of the reasons why I really appreciate you, Shane, because you're very authentic and true to your story, and I think that's gonna inspire a lot of other people that may be in similar situations where maybe they're like, I don't think I can do real estate, right? And you took it the other you made, your walker is your magic wand, right?
Yes.
And I absolutely love that, and you're relentless about it, and that's why you've been successful. And so what I'm hearing is a lot of it had started from the beginning with your own mindset, from your accident to walking again to, getting your college degree to getting into real estate and now becoming a top producer, right? So as I mentioned, you went from rookie to rock star. I don't know if you want to share your numbers or not, but you had an incredible year and continue to do so. So besides kind of surrounding yourself with mentors, and I like how you mentioned about putting your ego to the side and trying to see what you can do to improve, because I think as entrepreneurs we all have egos, right? And sometimes that's hard to do. But what would you say, can you pinpoint maybe one thing that's really been the key to your success?
God,
There you go, I love it.
God. I mean, God. I pray for growth. I pray for success. He knows my desires, and I think He opens those. I know He opens those doors for that success to continue, but I still have to put the work in. Every day I have to wake up. I worked for the hospitals and therapy companies for 15 years, and worked for a corporate company for 2 years, and you know you have to wake up, clock in, clock out, and you're getting paid. And in real estate, you're only as good as your last paycheck. So every day you have to wake up and you have to work your business. I work more hours now than what I did when I was working for the man, but I also reap those benefits a lot more now than what I was working for the man. And you asked me, what my numbers. When I came to Oklahoma City and I was looking for a job, I was literally living on Social Security disability. And that's embarrassing for me to say. I didn't ask for my accident to happen. Um, Unfortunately, you're dealt with cards. You just got to play with them the best you can and try to overcome the dealer. Um, and so I went from living on Social Security disability check, wondering what the heck was going on, praying every day, stressed, crying, to last year I made about $360,000, and then this year I'm almost double that by the end of the year.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I love how you said, you didn't ask for your accident, right? Everybody's going to be dealt some difficult things in their life, and I think it's how you overcome it, and how you, not only overcome it, but how you kind of conquer the situation. And that's what you've done. Instead of sitting there and kind of saying, "Poor me," you took it, you took the reins, right?
Yeah.
You took the reins and you conquered it. And I think that's such an amazing thing with your story, Shane. So thank you for being transparent and sharing that. So now I know that you decided to join EXP. So you partnered with William Mahan and our group, the Legacy Builders here at EXP. What was the thing that naturally attracted you to join EXP, and then more so now you're building out a team of agents, right, in multiple states. So
So when I was going to these interviews, and this is probably one of the reasons why I was not getting the job, is they would ask me, "What's your 10-year plan?" And I'd like said, "It's sitting in your seat." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Listen, I didn't go to business school to work for the man. My goal is to be a CEO of a company. I want to be the man." And they would kind of do it. They're like, "Dude, you're really cocky, aren't you?" I'm like, "Listen, why not shoot for the stars?" And so whenever William presented the EXP model to me, I was like, "Hold up. You're telling me I can actually own my own business, not working for another brokerage, tell me what I can and cannot do with my name." Because at that time, anything I sold, anything I did, it went underneath someone else's name. It was their name they were growing. And I did not like that because I'm like, here I am again doing the hard work, and I've got someone else's name on my listing or on whatever it may, my emails. I was like, I worked too hard for that. So when he showed me the business plan and said, "Shane, there's an exit strategy for you. You're on a walker. You know you do not want to be opening doors until the age of 60. Although you love that hunt, you love the grind, the grit, and it's that chase of being able to prove that you can go do it." He goes, "At some point, you're going to want to set back and you want to do exactly what you're being called to do, coaching, and whether it's business coaching, whether it's life coaching, inspirational speaking." Says EXP has the model to where you can get you can build a downline, you can own a business, you can market your name, you can market your brand the way you want to, um, and here's the tools they give you to be able to build that legacy. And he showed me what he did, and he's told me, what you've done and accomplished, which is huge and amazing. And I'm like, wow, okay, I can actually get paid having agents underneath me because, like you state, we all have equal opportunity in this business, just different different endings, different circumstances, or basically different
different
endings.
results, right? I would
Different
say
results. Thank
equal
you.
opportunity,
Different
different.
results. Different results is what I was looking for. And I'm like, okay, so I'm scratching my head. I'm like, okay, so if I just show, because it's not agent recruiting, it's showing them a better way to build a business, to make more money, and without the liability of owning their own brokerage, basically. So I was like, okay, so if I want to be an investor, if I've got to have money to go buy two investment properties that's going to hopefully make me 24,000 a year, because I want to be able, Grant Cardone teaches, if you're not able to make $1,000 a month net on your investment property, stay away from it. So I'm like, okay, that's two properties I have to have. But if I've got 10 agents that's underneath me, that's capping, I just got two investment properties that's paying me 24,000 a year, and I still have my money in the bank or going to do flips or other things. And all I've done is show them the opportunity that I have, that they have now, that they can surpass me, they can surpass you, they can surpass other big agents by just knowing certain people.
And we want them to, right? That's one of the
Exactly, different results. I love it when an agent comes to me and they're like, "Shane, I want to grow. I want to be a top producer." I'm like, "You do?" Because a lot of people will say that, but tell me how you want to get there. And they're like, "Well, I'm on the phone every day calling for sub by owners." I'm like, "Let's talk. You doing that already tells me you have what it takes. I want to talk to you. I want to partner up with you, and I want to help you succeed and get there where you want to be." We have an agent that came on. I watched his grind on Facebook, and I was like, this dude really is hungry. Reminds me a lot like myself when I was younger, and I was like, I'm just going to reach out to him. And at that time, he was a sales individual for a real estate builder, and I reached out to him. I was like, so tell me a little bit about yourself. You're unique. I like the way you market yourself. He's like, well, I'm thinking about getting my real estate license. And I said, okay, well, I'd like to interview, or I'd like to talk to you about EXP. Well, he ended up going to another brokerage just because, he knew friends there and stuff like that. But I'd keep up with him because, like, hey, if there's anything I need to do, no matter if you're with that brokerage, reach out to me, let me know because I want to help you be successful. I want to see you be successful. He's a young man, and he saw William and I do a live video on Facebook and just talking about our relationship, how what we've built with one another. And he all of a sudden texts me, he goes, "I want that." And I go, "You what you want what?" And he goes, "What you and William have." He's like, "Let's meet for lunch." I said, "Okay." So we met for lunch and we was talking. I said, "What's your goal?" And he told me a short term goal. And I'm like, you just need to surround yourself with the right people. You've got what it takes. And sure enough, he made a switch like within a week. He came over to EXP, and with no joke, within 6 months, he surpassed his financial goal he had. Like the
That's
kid is
incredible.
rocking it, and I get emotional. I'll tell him sometimes, like, listen, I love you. You're like a son I'm watching grow up. It's just, I love seeing what he's accomplishing. The way he continues to grow, it's really impressed. But it's because of the people that he's surrounding himself with within our business, our brokerage, with the Black Label producers, because people want to see him grow, and that's what it takes. People investing in you that want to see you grow.
Well, what is that saying? You're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right?
Exactly.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So
Exactly.
I think that's one of the cool things, and honestly, the brilliant thing about our models, the way that it's designed, is we're incentivized. There's no secret. We're incentivized to help our agents grow more, whether that's production, whether that's building out their own team or
Hmm.
organization. And as you mentioned, we actually want them to surpass us. And I don't know
Right.
that there's another model where it's structured in that manner. And
Yeah.
so it's not a top down organization by any means. And so I love that. I love, and I'm really excited next week for your big announcement because I know you've been waiting for this for a while, and it's going to be huge, and it's really going
It,
to allow you to cross some state borders and do some things that I think you're really going to take it to the next level. So
it was my dream when I first got in real estate 3 years ago. I had already been thinking, how can I expand and go back to where my roots are? Because I want to be a part of the people I grew up with. They're very special. Like the relationships I built being on the football fields with other in other towns, and I have a lot of people I grew up with. I'm like, I just want to help them. Like, I want to help them with their real estate needs. I want to help them get into real estate, grow their business. And now with this new partner coming on, working together, we will be able to do that. And not only for, being able to help the people I grew up with, but seeing him be able to grow his business because that thing is going to catch on fire. And I'm excited to see it and be a part of it.
absolutely. I mean, likewise, it's amazing, and I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for next week's announcement. So, with that said, unless anybody, if you're watching this and you have any questions for Shane, please go ahead and drop a comment below. If you love what he's talking about, give us a like, give us a heart. But my last question here for you is, where is Shane going to be in the next few years? What are your future? You've talked about your future plans. What are your future plans? Where are we going to see Shane in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, my goal is to be a multimillionaire. And with last year's production, this year's production, I have to give credit to my wife as well because I come into the office and I start about 7:50 in the morning, and sometimes I'm not out of the office until 9:30 at night. And so she has to feed me, because if she's not bringing me food and feeding me, I'm not eating, and next thing you know, I'm worn down. So she helps a lot, with that, and with listing appointments and stuff, because if I'm off somewhere else, I need someone else to go. So I give credit for her for the success as well. But the goal is to expand. I'm wanting to expand. I'm wanting to help agents grow their business, help them with their business planning, and help them to reach their goals, because I'm very goal oriented as well. But I want to be on stage. When we was in Dallas this a month ago for the Build 22, I literally said I'm going to be on that stage next year. That's me next year, because I want to show how great our God is and what one can accomplish by just believing in themselves and hard work and grit. That if I can do it on a walker, you can do it with with a wheelchair, with crutches, or with two good legs. Like, there is no excuse. You just got to believe in yourself. You got to be your biggest fan, and you just got to believe that God has a purpose for your story, and surround yourself with the right people. That's all it takes.
I love that, and I believe we're gonna see you on stage next year as well, so I'm excited for that, and I love how you're putting it out there, right? Because that's the first step. You're putting it out
Yes,
there that it's gonna happen,
yes,
and so the universe does speak, and so, as long as you take the right actions and put it into place, it's going to happen, right?
yes.
I think a lot of times people get stuck is they put it out there, but then they don't take the action behind it. And so that's the key is you're visualizing it, you're putting it out there, but now you're going to put in the hard work to make sure that it gets done,
Yeah.
right? So I absolutely love that, Shane. For agents, whether they're agents now or getting licensed, maybe they're watching this live or a replay, and they want to hear how you've built your business. Maybe they want to look at partnering with you in building their business, whether they're in Oklahoma or another state because you are going across state borders. What is the best way for them to reach out to you?
Facebook, whether it's, you can find me on Facebook, Shane Johnson. You can Bless Nest Real Estate Group is our business page. Send me an email there. Reach out to me by phone. You know, my phone number is 405-230-0161. Um, but it's just not real estate either. If you just want to call and talk to me, and tell me a little bit about what you're going through in life, and you know I'm more than willing to be open and listening, and maybe giving some advice of you know opportunities you can take, in order to reach your personal goals, whether it's life, whether it's mindset, whether it's real estate. um, that's what I'm called to do. I think real estate's just the bridge that is going to help me to get to that side where God's like, this is what I've called you to do, Shane. This is why I've saved you from the water. This is the reason why I've been with you through all those times you didn't know if you was going to make it, is because of this reason right here. And so honestly, reach out to me either way. I'm on my phone all the time, and I love those types of conversations. So
Wow, Shane, I mean, I have to say, you just gave me chills. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. I love your heart, I love your work ethic, and your mindset. Right, I think that's incredibly important. So, I want to thank you for joining us today. I know we had to be a bit agile and kind of switching up the interview. So, I really appreciate you sharing your story, and to be honest, I'm glad the way it worked out because I'm glad
yes.
that everyone can hear your story.
Well, I appreciate it.
And then I want to make sure everybody does join us again next week, same time for our next Winners Wednesday, as we get to find out who Shane's new partner is, and it's going to be exciting. And so, I really appreciate you taking time to join us today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.